Hello, I'm Michelle Crawford, and I'm just getting started with my 3 o'clock live for today. I hope you're having a great day. I don't know if you know, but my team, the Warriors, have made it to the next round of the playoffs. Yes, Steph Curry put in an amazing performance, yes, 2 days ago against oh my god, I can't even get into it. I can't even get into it against the Kings in Sacramento. But that's not what we're talking about today. I am repping one aspect of my state of mind with my awesome sweatshirt and this hat from the Emerald Cup that I'm super stoked about. But at the same time, we are not here today, right now, on this live to talk about just the Warriors. So although I will take a puff to their luck tonight at Chase Center against the Lakers. Down with the Lakers. Down with the Lakers. If you like basketball and you like cannabis, check out repyourstateofmind.com where you can get these rad designs that I made for all of us who love the NBA and we love cannabis and we love to rep our state of minds. Check it out. I've got the Lakers. Obviously, I've got the Warriors. Unfortunately, you can't get this hat. This is a limited edition Emerald Cup hat that we got in our VIP swag bags. Me and Kirst. Oh, hey, Kirst, you recognize the hat? Yeah, baby. Emerald Cup, baby. Mm-hmm. Hey, JJ. Thanks for not leaving me alone, guys. Here's a puff for you. And I hope you are taking your own puff at home of cannabis, hemp, whatever you want to call it, marijuana, pot. We love it. Let's talk about concentrates. I have my notes here in front of me. And more than that, I have things. I have stuff you guys don't even realize. What? Let's adjust the camera so you can see a little bit more of the stuff that I have in front of me. Okay. So, one thing that I want to talk about today as we get live and we talk all about concentrates is that, hi, I'm Michelle Crawford. I'm a certified cannabis health coach and educator. And I have, been going on social live to talk about cannabis, how healthful it is for you, all the benefits. And today I want to talk about concentrates. I do have the chat going over here. I'm not trying to pay too much attention to it, but I am trying to pay attention to the front here. And let's go ahead and push this back just a little bit more so you can see just a little bit better the stuff. Ooh, stuff. Okay, so concentrates of cannabis are concentrated. Cannabis grows on a flower, and the plant material of it is not where the medicine is. The plant material, the leaves, the flowers, the like actual leaf and flower, is where like the chlorophyll lives and some of the other stuff. But the medicine, the THC, the cannabinoids, the CBD, the CBN, and all of those other cannabinoids don't live inside the leaves or inside the flowers. That stuff lives on the trichome, which is a little mushroom shaped gland that comes off the surface of the plant. So, concentrates are typically anything where you've taken the trichome, the little gland that grows from the surface of the flower, off of it and separated it from what we call the plant material. So, a flower, of course, I don't have any like actual flower right in front of me, but flower is a mixture of leaves ground up, of little bits of the flowers ground up together with the trichomes that were sitting on the surface, attached to the surface. Let's talk about the very first concentrates. The very first concentrates are called keefs. Keef is something that usually you'll find in the bottom of your grinder if you're a regular cannabis user who makes things from ground flower. Keef is dusty. And this is CBD and CBG keef from Horn Creek Hemp. I'm just going to show it to you. Oh, crap. I'm just going to show it to you. And it's very powdery. This comes from a facility where they go and trim with machines tons of farm grown hemps, of CBD, CBG, CBDV, all kinds of cannabinoids. And you can buy from Horn Creek Hemp whole ounces. This is an ounce of keef. So what's great about this is that it's already about double the potency of flower. Hello, hello. I hope you guys are having fun over there in the chat. I see some action. I see Alex has joined us and Kirsty has joined us and my friend JJ has joined us. So that's great. Thank you so much, everyone. Keef is the very first concentrate. We've gotten rid of the plant material, the actual flower structure, the actual leaf structure, and we have a lot of like a little bit of leftover bits of plant material, dust kind of stuff, and the trichomes are in here. So, and it's about double the potency of flower because the flower's been removed, right? Makes sense. Oh, hi y'all. Oh, there's a party in the chat. So if you if you haven't joined, we've got Renee in there too, and she's fun. All right, keef is the very first concentrate. Everybody got that? It is minus the plant material and double the potency. So let's move on to some other kinds of concentrates. The world of concentrates gets very complicated, especially at the dispensary, where you're typically seeing them being sold for inhalation called dabbing. So we see a lot of concentrates sold in little jars like this, depending on how the legality of where you're shopping is. You know, sometimes they have to be opaque, sometimes they have to be utterly childproof in every way. But by the gram, you can buy concentrates at most dispensaries, and they're typically not decarbed, and they're typically meant for inhalation via dabbing, right? Right. So let's talk about what I've got in front of me here. I have some Papa Select. This is by a company named Papa and Barkley, a very reputable company out of Northern California whose CEO, Guy Ricoeur, I'm kind of obsessed with a little bit in a fangirl sort of way. I'm very proud of Papa and Barkley's ability to go nationwide with their CBD line of gummies, salves, and tinctures that are now available at Vitamin Shoppe. Vitamin Shop PP with an E at the end, nationwide in America. Way to go, Papa and Barkley, gotta say. So if you're looking for a really, and I get nothing from this, they are not paying for me to do this, but I'm hoping to meet up with them at the Cup Awards in a couple weeks here in Northern California in Richmond. Me and my friends are invited to go to the Emerald Cup Awards, where I probably will see Guy there and ask him to, bless everything. Maybe have him on for an interview would be great. They make water hash and then press it into a rosin. So from you got to smell it. They are really known for their high quality and for producing cannabis extracts that are trustworthy and made without solvents. So the only solvent involved with this process is water and stirring action. You can literally take cannabis flowers, freeze them, put them in ice water, stir them, and they will release those trichomes I mentioned. Then you into the water around them. Then you take the water, pour it through some ever increasing fineness of mesh sieves. And yeah, we do love ghee. And then you will collect what is called hash, water hash, bubble hash. Water hash is made with water. Bubble hash describes not the water, but the reaction of the hash when you melt it and inhale its vapors. It will bubble a little bit, which is a sign of great quality in bubble hash, full melt bubble hash, right? Leaving behind like nothing. So solvents are often feared in the extract world because if they are chemical solvents instead of water, or chemical solvents instead of mechanical solvents, which are things like pressure, taking a bud and pressing it to release a rosin, that is an extraction that is solventless, doesn't require any solvent, but uses heat and pressure. It uses mechanical pressure and mechanical heat to extract this rosin from the flowers. So then you scrape that up and stick that in one of these things and sell it at the dispensary. Oh my God. This is so good. This is blueberry lempe. Yeah. Oh my God. Rosin from Empire. Geez, you guys, you just have no idea. I can't smell this stuff anymore because it will just get too crazy. But another kind of hash presentation that is very old school, that isn't a water hash presentation, is typically like it's been gathered up and rolled into a little ball. So let's see if we have that here. I think that this is, oh no, this isn't ball hash. This is powder hash. There's the look at it. I hope you can see that. It's just a little fine powder. This has not been pressed into anything like a rosin. This has just been collected into this little jar. This is by a company called Nasha, and they also make temple ball hash, which is where you would take something like this, roll it into a little ball using the pressure and heat of like your hands, again, the mechanical pressure and heat, and it's just different shapes that the extracts take. So it's confusing about extracts because there's so many things to know: how it was made, what solvent it was made from, And then like, what's the final presentation? Why is it like that? So in the world of the dispensary, you're going to come across things that they call butter, waxes, sauces, and diamonds. These are textures. These are not affecting like the actual content of the extract. It's always going to be the same cannabinoids that came off of the flower. However, you can manipulate the texture of it with different temperatures and stirring, if you can believe it, and whether or not it's even partially decarbed. So anything that is not decarbed at all will have a stiffer, more crystalline ability to stiffen up and be a thick texture. Anything that's been even partially decarbed will have a more liquid, viscous, runny texture. And so that's how you see things. You get really hard crystals. Those are THC or CBD or any cannabinoid. It's an extract that has been not decarbed and has been allowed to crystallize. Sometimes they pour what they call sauce over it. That is like reclaimed terpenes and essential oils from the process of making these extracts. And you buy that in one product called like sauce or diamond sauce. So it's really hard to explain. It would be easier if we just went through like every single thing and described how it was made. But what you're going to find out is how it was made is sort of like the definition of it. And it's going to be like how it was extracted, what solvent was used. Was it a mechanical solvent like heat and pressure? Was it a chemical solvent like hexane, butane, or any alcohol? Or was it like a chemical, mechanical, and a water, basically like water temperature bath? I'm going to check the chat right now because I can, from the corner of my eye, I can see it moving up and I'm kind of like, oh my God, what's going on? Oh my gosh. So we have people coming here. Oh, Renee's saying that she has a bubble bag machine. Hey, Angel, nice to see you. And they have had it since Christmas and haven't used it yet. That's the oldest story in the book, Renee. When you buy something to use and you don't use it, that is something that is really hard and funny, right? When you finally do use it, it'll be fun. I'll make a video if you want on how I make hash here at home, because I do have the hash bags. And actually, would you believe the first time I ever made hash, I couldn't even wait for the bags. I just did it in like a jar like this with ice water and my flowers, poured it out through a silk scarf like some old Lebanese woman from the past, right? And then made a ball with my own two hands. Right? Cannabis is super easy. We have all these modern conveniences to do it with, but we also have like the ancient ways available to us as well. And I think once you just understand the manipulation of it and you understand like what you're going for here, we're separating trichomes from plant matter, using a solvent or a mechanical process, and then we're collecting that up and then doing things with it. Maybe we're going to decarb it and liquefy it and put it into a syringe like this and call it, FECO or RSO. Maybe we're going to not decarb it, let it stiffen up into a wax, a butter, or a diamond or something, put it into something like this and sell it at the dispensary for dabbing. All of this and more is possible. Let's see what else we've got here. Just a couple more different examples of California hash, or not hash, I'm sorry, concentrates. Let's talk about the kind of concentrates that I make here at home. They're called FECO or RSO. I store them in these little syringes because it's very handy. This is a 1 milliliter syringe of CBD that I made at home with this machine over here that we're going to talk about next, the Source Turbo. This is something that really helps me to be more convenient. It makes my DIY more convenient and effective and efficient to have my own concentrates. This is equivalent to like 4 ounces of flour, taking up room in my pantry. And I can store it much easier and more compactly in this jar system, which I keep high up on a shelf away from little hands, in my pantry. All right, bubble bag machine, Kirsty. Everybody in the chat is partying with each other. That's awesome. Yeah, okay. So I will make a bubble bag hash video. Maybe I'll get my mom involved. I made her watch a 4-hour movie documenting the famous hash maker, Frenchie Cannoli, who has passed, bless his heart. And in order to get ready to make hash together, because I like to make my mom do everything with me, right, guys? Right? Gimme. Okay, so let me put this away to the side for a second and get ready to talk about the next part. I don't know if I had said the thing that I wanted to say about vanilla extract. So something about concentrates in cannabis that kind of bothers me is that people get intimidated of them. Like, oh, concentrates, that's so, what's the word, you guys? What's the word? Like, it's so dire. That's so much. That's so hardcore. Yeah, let's go with hardcore. Concentrates, they're so hardcore. That's for those people over there who need to get really high. And I'm not with that. So I'm just a flower person or I'm just an edibles person. Okay, well, number one, edibles are made with concentrates. Like nobody, you can absolutely eat a flower. It is an herb. It is like a leafy green vegetable. You're certainly no harm is going to come to you from eating a flower. And you can absolutely decarb it and sprinkle it on your food as an instant edible, but hardly anyone does that. It's so far from the thinking of people. So I like to destigmatize cannabis concentrates in a way and remind people that a concentrate of cannabis is just like a concentrate of like vanilla, for example, vanilla extract. Nobody's afraid of vanilla extract. Nobody's thinking like, oh shit, I'm scared of using vanilla extract in my cake or my pancakes or my muffins. I don't know how to take this tiny thing and stick it into my baked goods and figure it out. Come on. So I like people to maybe think about cannabis extracts and concentrates the same as extracts and concentrates that you're already familiar with, that you're not afraid of using and that don't intimidate you. Vanilla, lemon, almond extracts, orange extracts for baking. None of those intimidate us. We're cool with it, right? Right? I'm going to check the chat, right? Yes, yes, yes. I see a lot of love from my mom. Yeah, yummy is popular. Okay, so, think of cannabis extracts and be brave about them, just like you'd be, unthinkingly, without even thinking about it, brave, I think, with vanilla extract, right? Right. So how do you make them? Let me just make sure that I'm saying the right thing. How do you make these extracts? Well, I use this machine called the Source Turbo. So let's put this over here and the phone, and I'll bring the Source Turbo over. So, here it is. Here, my baby, the Source Turbo by ExtractCraft. This machine, so tiny, so cute. Like, look, I'm 5 feet tall. Look how tiny it is. It's really small. This allows you to do something with your cannabis or any botanical at all. You could do it with black pepper. You could make your own extracts at home of anything. Vanilla, for example, if you want to buy some vanilla beans and some alcohol, ta-da, you can make your own vanilla in this machine. What it does is it takes your cannabis extract that you've made, which is this. Okay, this is a big jar of cannabis extract. This is multi-cannabinoid cannabis extract. This is alcohol mixed with cannabis flowers and agitated around and allowed to soak together for a very short period of time, and then filtered off of the flowers, leaving me this alcohol. I'm going to filter this alcohol a couple times. I'll go over this in a second using some of this equipment right here. And then I'm going to process it in the Source Turbo. What's the Source Turbo going to do? See this giant like 2-quart jar of alcohol that's involved? Well, we're going to remove all of this alcohol, leaving behind the oil extract, just the oil extract, which I'm going to collect in these little syringes and use in my DIY practice. This machine gently heats this alcohol tincture up until the alcohol evaporates off of this. If you've ever made RSO or FECO at home before, usually you're just allowing it to evaporate into the air. But in this machine, it's evaporating inside this closed globe, which allows the alcohol to fill up the globe out here, and you can use it again. This saves you a lot of money. This is incredibly like commercial processes that do the exact same thing with cannabis and other botanicals. What happens in the end is inside this crucible, you'll be left with the oil. And all the alcohol will be here in the globe, and you can save it in a jar and use it again. You can take your extract and put it in a syringe or a little jar like I was showing you and use it in your DIY. So it's really simple and easy. Kirsty, I want you to put in the chat how simple and easy it is, right? It's so funny because she came over, speaking of like how Renee was sharing that she has a bubble bag and a bubble bag machine, hash maker thing that she hasn't even opened yet. Same thing with Kirsty. She had this Source Turbo. She was afraid to use it. She hadn't opened it yet. You know how intimidating these things can be. I had her over to my house and we initiated her into being a sorceress. She took the flowers, mixed them with the alcohol in a jar, shook them up, poured out the alcohol. She got the filter out. Okay, let's go over what this is. This is a Buckner filter. It's really handy to filter this. We don't want any little bits of cannabis in it. We want it to just be a fully filtered, really clean liquid. See how there's sediment at the bottom of, okay, there's no sediment because I've been shaking it up, but there's sediment at the bottom of there. There's like, little pieces of plant material still, dust. What you're going to do is take this Buckner filter. It's a ceramic filter full of holes and a little thing on the bottom. It goes into this vacuum flask, this 1,000 milliliter vacuum flask that I highly recommend you buy from ExtractCraft together with your Source Turbo if you go this route. You also get this tube connector that connects from this vacuum flask onto a port underneath here. Okay, I can't open it right now, but there's a little vacuum port on the Source Turbo that allows you to do vacuum assisted filtering of your washes, like so. Come on, Michelle. There you go. Throw this on there. Grab some of these filters that also come with your complete kit, which I recommend you buy, and you can save money off of it with my code Michelle. I'll put that down below. Put a filter into your thing, wet it a little bit, take this, pour it, turn on your machine. It makes a noise, and you take that, pour it in. It will filter down here, all clear and golden and beautiful, and da-da-da-da-da. That's what you do before taking that now filtered extract and processing it in your source like this, putting it in here, spinning this all the way down until it's seated on that heating post. And then you put the lid on. The lid is totally slanted to make the alcohol that hits it when it's evaporating drip down and not fall back into the crucible and into the globe for your recollection. And this sexy little thing is an ice pan. You put ice in here to cool the lid. When the lid is cold, it helps the evaporation process, making it over 90% efficient. You will get over 90% of this alcohol back. That is incredible for your reuse to do this process again and again. 80% of Source Turbo owners use this to make medicinal oil for their everyday use. All right, that is what this machine was designed to do, and it's what it does efficiently and easily every time, in my opinion. I have really found this to be awesome for helping me make this FECO RSO and have it around for my DIY projects, making them like instantaneous and fast. And then me turning my homegrown flowers into concentrates, and enabling myself to make basically anything in cannabis: lotions, salves, suppositories, edibles, tinctures, you name it. Basically, you can make it. Ta-da, ta-da. All right, let's check the chat. It's a beautiful miracle maker. That's right. Oh my gosh, the Source Turbo is so awesome. Okay, get the whole package. I think Angel is saying get the whole package, and people love it. That's right. All right, so if you want to make FECO, this is also a pitch for me to talk about my class, Homemade Health. My class, Homemade Health, is, I think, one of the only live classes where you can learn to make your own concentrates at home with the Source Turbo under the guidance of a live teacher, an expert. I've been a spokesperson for ExtractCraft, and I've produced some videos for them, both promotional and instructional. Love the company. They're out of Longmont, Colorado, here in America. Met everybody there, and I think they're great. And if you want to learn how to make your own cannabis extracts with this machine that is like really money saving, unlike any other machine out there, the Magical Butter machine will not make you this extract and this concentrate. It will not get you the oil back. The Ardent FX is not an extractor. It is a decarboxylator and an infuser, but it won't make FECO RSO for you. There just isn't another machine out there like this that will do the same job. You can absolutely use an air pot if you want to, but it's not as well controlled as this. And I don't really, it's not made to that purpose, so it runs a lot hotter. The temperatures it's made to boil water. Water boils at like 220, 50. Sorry, I'm not a chemist. I do have some chemistry students and masters in my class though. So if they're watching this and know the boiling temperature of water, then go ahead and then let me know. But alcohol boils at a far lower temperature, 100, 105. So the temperatures in the Source Turbo, they never get as high as the air stillers that some people think are good substitutes for this machine. Hey, I understand that times are tight and that people need to make it work. I honestly think, and I wouldn't lead you astray, this is a $600 machine that I bought on my own before I ever knew the ExtractCraft company, personally. So although our relationship developed after that, I bought this machine with my own money and I love it. I highly recommend it. I think it's simple to use. It's a set it and forget it machine. For all of how complicated this looks, honestly, once you get it down, it's set it and forget it. You can get this machine going and then walk away and go about your business. Who doesn't want that at the same time as making life-saving miracle medicine at home easily, while, I don't know, your feet are up? Are we allowed to be at ease at the same time as making medicine? Yes, if you're in homemade health, I will absolutely support that plan. All right, let me put these back in here and make sure that I've talked about everything that I wanted to talk about today about concentrates and how making them at home has just been amazing. Oh, I think the last thing that I wanted to talk about were some tips and tricks about concentrates that I know are helpful. So if you've already been down the concentrate making road, then you might know that working with the very sticky concentrate at the end can be really hard. I know that a lot of my students get very upset about like leaving stickiness on their tools or leaving any kind of the extract behind. So if you want to be really frugal, and there's a lot of frugality around cannabis because it is quite expensive with your cannabis extract making processes, what I highly recommend to you is that you get a jar of alcohol that you use as your cleaning alcohol. This cleaning alcohol you can use to clean all your goods and get the cannabinoids off of it, and then run that in its own process and use it for something that you're not too worried about, like maybe a topical instead of an edible, or if you're feeling safe about it, go ahead and use it in your edibles. But anyway, what it does by having a cleaning alcohol jar, it gives you the opportunity to get back everything that you've been doing and not waste like even hardly anything at all. The other thing I wanted to talk about besides like a cleaning tip and trick was the idea of using heat and cold in your extract, in using extracts. So this stuff, when it comes out, it's super sticky, super thick and gooey, really hard to get out. You almost always will see people saying, heat it up in a cup of warm water or hot water before using it because it's just so gooey and sticky and hard to get out and work with. But if you warm it up, it gets liquid, flowing, much less viscosity. And so this is where we have to think temperature. Now, if warming it up leads it to being more liquid, what if you want it more solid? What can you do? Chat, what can you do? You can cool it down. That's right. Stick it in your freezer. Stick it in your refrigerator. You need it to be solid. You've got it on a mat and you want to like, yeah, chill it, baby. Cool it. That's right. Those are my best students right there. Just giving you all the answers. Miracle makers, each and every one of those people. Chill it down, cool it down, harden it up, get it to stick together. You want to make a little ball. You want to like transfer it off the mat, fold it up, stick it together, use a little thing, pick it up and stick it into something. Ta-da, ta-da, you got it. So tips and tricks using temperature and using alcohol to clean up after yourself, and temperature to manipulate the concentrate into whatever you need it to be. More runny and more liquid and easier to blend, thicker and harder and easier to pick up. There you go. Oh, and shatter. Some people maybe will be watching this video and thinking, I want to make, fat dabs. Do you remember when I said that undecarbed cannabis will make a solid when you take your extract and purge it of all the alcohol and leave it out for a while? So this is like, everybody loves shatter for some reason. It's just so cool, I think, like a science experiment. So if you don't decarb your cannabis, do this extraction process, use your source turbo to process it and get your alcohol back, then take what's in the crucible and pour it out onto a mat. If you haven't decarbed it, then the likelihood that when you purge it like that, let any remaining alcohol come out and then it will solid up and make a clear little glass thing that looks like shatter. It's pretty easy to do and it looks so impressive and the dabbers love it and it looks cool. But that's like, between you and me, that's pretty much it. It's undecarbed. It's going to harden and crystallize and you're just going to let it stay out until it does. Kirsty wants to make fat dabs. Well, that'll do it, Kirsty. You want me to come over and we can make fat dabs? I got you. Okay, what have my homemade health students done with their own homemade concentrates? Rad things. Two things that I've got up here on my table. So one of my most popular downloads is the suppositories download, the Love Yourself suppositories, which are combination of like cannabis extract is what is the recipe, together with cocoa butter. So these are some hearts that I've made. These are made of cocoa butter and cannabis extract. This is something that I use as a suppository, vaginal and rectally. Inserting this will deliver to me about 40 milligrams of THC, CBD, CBG, and THCA, CBDA, and CBGA. That's my recipe. How do I do it? I melt cocoa butter and I add concentrates that I've made to it. And then I put them into a little heart mold, pop it in the fridge or the freezer, pop them out, store them in this jar. And what do I do with them afterward? And what do my students do with these things afterward? Well, the first thing that I did when I first started using these things was just use them as suppositories, just rectal and anal use. I mean, rectal and vaginal use. However, as time went on, I realized that this formula was like, great for sleep if I ate it as an edible. So basically, these are, what do you call them, Alex? Multi-purpose edibles and marinade. Yes. When I'm using these as a sexual aid, we will wait 10 minutes and then we will go about having more fun with them. We don't usually wait. It's not like we sit there, we fill those 10 minutes in with some fun times. But you know what? Eating these, I know it sounds weird, eat your suppositories, but you don't have to call them that. Alex, I think, calls them a multi-purpose edible because it's cocoa butter. Cocoa butter is like chocolate fat, you know what I mean? And cannabis extract. So this is something that I like to take for sleep. The dosage is about right for me for sleep. And I also have rubbed them on my body to use as a topical. So any kind of infused oil with cannabis, any kind of like tincture or infused oil can also be used topically, as can this. What's great about this is that it's in a little solid format. You can see I can carry it in my hand. I mean, not for long, it will melt. But it's nice to have something solid to rub on, like a little lotion bar or a little suppository. So, here's one cannabis thing that can be eaten, used as a skin topical to clear up, rashes or to treat bug bites. It can be used as a suppository. I mean, it's just multi-purpose, and I have been getting by using this for a long time now because of my hectic work schedule. Alex also, I think, and Caress, a former student, have like combined, instead of making, so this is a CBD concentrate alone, but what if you could decide to make THC and CBD together in one extract? Can you do that? Yes, you can, and more. So this extract that I have here is actually trifecta extract. See, my famous blue tape. Always label your extracts and your stuff, because if you come downstairs and you find this jar of I don't even know what, you're going to want to know if it's CBD or THC later. Okay, right? So this is trifecta. This is actually 6 cannabinoids in here, the same ones I mentioned that are in here. And when I extract this and when I process it in the source, it's going to make an extract of trifecta, which I can go ahead and put into anything. And now, boom, it's got all those 6 cannabinoids in it at any dosage that I wish. We're going to talk about dosage on a different day. Multi-cannabinoid concentrate. It's the only way that Alex makes concentrates now. It's much easier. It is. If you're dedicated to making multi-cannabinoid formulation only, then it's super great. I also do, however, kind of have a habit of making each individual concentrate so that I have my choice of how to put together different things. I just enjoy that. But in reality, if you have no time and you just want to make things simple and efficient, mixture them together. If you only take 1-to-1, if you take, trifecta, make trifecta extract. You can do it. And I approve. I am Michelle Crawford, a certified cannabis health coach, and I approve this message. All right, I'm going to check the chat. I think that's all I really have for you today. I'm going to get my mighty going for a outro puff. And I thank everybody. This was awesome. I could see you guys having so much fun over here. I don't know if I missed any questions. Oh my gosh. Renee is breaking the rules and joining me live from her East Coast dinner. Sorry, East Coast. I know it's 6 p.m. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't want to keep you any longer. I don't think there's any questions in here. Make, take, share, marinate, multi-cannabinoids. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let's get that closing puff in. And if you are ready for your closing puff, let's bring it together, people. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're happy and healthy. If you want to make and take and share cannabis medicines with me, I am promoting my next class, the spring class for homemade health. Check it out at Cannabis Coaching CannabisCoaching.com, my website, which is totally new and redone and beautiful. And if you can't spell Canna Curious Coaching, I can't blame you. I created another website called Michelle Crawford Coaching, which is much easier to remember, and it redirects you right over to Canna Curious Coaching, where you can check out Homemade Health. All right, come on, baby, buzz, buzz, baby, buzz. Isn't this great? I hope the Warriors win against the Lakers tonight. If you're not a fan, you know, uh, have a great night on your own. Do whatever you want. But I will be watching the game and basically hating on LA. I got the buzz. I got the buzz, everyone. 3, 2, 1, go. All that and more. Good night. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you tomorrow live at 3 right here. I don't have my notebook, so I can't remember, but watch your email for what the topic's going to be. It probably is dosing math. You don't even need it. Oh my God. Did she even say that? I did. I did. And tomorrow we'll talk all about it. Bye, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. This was so fun. I really appreciate you.